本当はもう少し結界を張った後、オスバルト殿下のために。とっくにオーバーワークですよ。過労で倒れたら申し訳が立ちません。
The Two Perfect Saint, without doubt, episode 2 saved the series for me. If you guys came through on my episode 1 review, which thank you very much, you guys know that basically I said like, hey, this show and my camera, look at my camera, what is going on with it? I don't know what's gonna happen with my camera there. I basically said like, this show, I don't feel like they put their best foot forward. And they were definitely trying to do a lot of setup, right? Like they were definitely trying to set up for what's going to come next on the show. But it definitely was more of like, okay, here's what's coming. But episode 1 wasn't one that like really, really grabbed us enough. And that was my main thing, was like, it was a little bit boring and there wasn't enough there. But episode 2, I thought was a totally, totally different vibe. I thought that it had the saint, I forget what her name is already. Actually, let me look that up. But it had the saint coming to the kingdom, right? Coming to her new home and being greeted with things that she immediately never came across before, which was warmth and welcomeness and a party for her and a prince that was very different, who was talking about gardening and like actually getting his hands dirty. And a first prince, basically the next person in line for the throne, coming and greeting her personally, getting assigned attendants that she's never had before, attendants wanting to go and be alongside her and make sure that she's okay, being asked to not work very hard, being asked to take days off, being told that, hey, you've done enough, being told like you can just be a saint, like you don't need to be our agricultural economist, you know, whatever, like you don't need to do all these other things, like you just need to be a saint. And it's coming with her coming to the, not to the front, but like coming to the realization that where she came from and where she's at are two drastically different places. And what was expected of her there and what's expected of her here are drastically different. And I think the maid in the show, right, because she was assigned a butler and a maid, the maid said it the best of like, well, two things. One, the butler was like, I think we got somebody really amazing here, because he's like, the other saints before can't do what she did. But then the maid was like, I love her, like she's awesome. I just don't think she understands the stopping of work. Like she doesn't quite understand it. She's like, but I want her to understand the things that she deserves, because she is like a noble, like, you know, after the king and the royal family, like she's next as far as level of importance in this country. Like she needs to understand that. And I think as before, she was used as like a tool, basically, just like a really political tool. And she wasn't given the same importance. She was given the task, but not the same importance or the same care or anything. So I think it's just so cool to have that duality. And the prince seems really cool. I love how he was taking her time with her. I love how he's going to end up being her fiance, and that's going to have, she's going to have to come to grips with, hey, this is going to be your new forever dude here. And she is going to be officially a part of the royal family. I love the attendants. Like I said, I love the maid and the butler. I love them. I love that they gave her a big ass house. I also love the sister. The sister was like coming to the realization that like, oh yeah, that's gross. Sorry. Coming to the realization like, hey, there's no way that my sister, like out of everybody, there's no way that my sister would have left without telling me anything. And she was like, I don't believe my dad. And I like that the sister wasn't like the typical, like, you know, sister who wants to take everything from her sister. She was like, I'm going to figure out who did this to my sister, and I'm going to make sure they get theirs. You know what I mean? Like she is out to protect, like the love that she had for her sister wasn't lip service. It was like genuine. So I love that she's taking the angle of like, I'm going to go get whoever is lying to me, because there's no way that my sister would leave without consulting me, without telling me. And what I'm being told is a lie. So I love that she's seeing through all the bullshit, and she's like, yeah, they're lying to me, and like I'm going to figure out who and why and everything else. And you can tell she's pissed. So I love that because hopefully she can see, you know, how her sister was treated, like legitimately. She probably knew in some way, shape, or form. But if she was also raised by the same mother with like the same kind of attitude of like, you got to know everything, you got to be a master of everything, blah, 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 then, you know, it's hard to say on how she actually kind of like dealt with that and all that, you know? So there's a chance that she knew, but if she can get exposed to even more of what her sister was really doing and how she was basically holding up the country, like that's gonna even matter more. And then I love how the prince from the other kingdom is finally getting his a little bit because the kingdom's starting to fall apart because she legitimately was the one leading the country, which I think is crazy. So overall, I just want to say, like, I love the episode. I was so shocked in the best way of like, wow, like, I wish I had a stronger start because I think there's gonna be some people who just fall off because like we get inundated with so many anime in a season, and we get so many anime that get introduced to us in one season that like a lot of times all that somebody has is just an episode 1. Like all they have is just one episode to make a decision if they're going to be able to watch something or not watch something. So because of that, you know, when you don't make a really, really strong impression, you know, people can fall off. So there's going to be a lot of people who fell off the first episode, which I was already kind of like on the fence. So there's going to be people like me who decided instead of giving it one more that they fell off. But I think that this definitely deserves, I think it deserves more praise because episode 2, again, like I said, really surprised me in the best way. So overall, I think episode 2 was 9 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the pacing. I like the characters. I like the was introduced. I like the nuance that introduced, and I like the fact that it's going to be romance as well, but it's going to be slow brewing, and you can see kind of the writing on the wall, and I kind of like the trajectory it's going down. So let me know what you guys thought about the 2 Perfect Saint, but I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised with episode 2. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys next week for episode number 3, but I'm excited now about the 2 Perfect Saint as opposed to before jumping into this. I just didn't have that excitement, but now I'm like, yeah, okay, I think we got a good one here. So that's a great feeling. All right, friends, I'll see you guys next week for episode 3. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out.